Dear friend, have a coat, the official drink of the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development.
Yep, the transnational corporations are everywhere, aren't they? God bless them.
I was just glad that Chairman Tommy Coe called a break so that the African nations can sort out this decertification thing with the European Economic Community. Everything was going smoothly. Even the U.S. was on board, and then, boom, the EEC starts backpedaling. These Agenda 21 negotiations are so tedious, we're never going to reach consensus on a global plan of action.
Don't be so gloomy. We're already to chapter 4.
Yeah, I must say it's half over and we still have 38 chapters to go. Look at this thing. The future of the planet is at stake and we are disputing commas and brackets.
You know as well as I that the punctuation battles are simply a smokescreen for the real issues. Why, just yesterday on forests, you were all hot and bothered when we pushed for tough measures on deforestation.
Come on, Ms. North. Just because you chopped down all your forests doesn't mean that now you can tell us what to do. We have a sovereign right to do what we please with our forests, just as you have.
Okay, but forests absorb carbon dioxide. We need to keep the forests intact if we're going to stop global warming.
It truly is amazing how the issues can get twisted around. Global warming. You and I both know that the industrialized North already produces more CO2 than the forests of the South can absorb. The U.S. alone produces 1/4 of the world's CO2, yet opposes caps on emissions. If the North would just clean up its act, we could solve a lot more of these environment development problems.
Yeah, and the poor could stop having babies, and the Holy See could ease up on population control.
You've got a point there. There is no such thing as a quick fix. Ours is an interdependent world, and these issues are very complex. The trick will come once the leaders sign off on Agenda 21 and everything moves to the implementation stage.
That's when I really get nervous. All this talk about new and additional resources. How on earth are we ever going to finance these lofty policies?
It's not impossible. Maurice Strong says that it'd only take $125 billion a year to cover the costs of Agenda 21.
Only $125 billion? Why, that's only $70 billion more than what's currently being given in aid to nations in the South. Whose pockets are you going to be digging into anyway? Remember, the recession is a global phenomenon. Nobody has money, and certainly not in an election year.
It is a question of priorities, my distinguished colleague. If the West would spend money to rescue Kuwait, it can certainly find some to rescue the world.
The U.S. will never go for that. Mr. Bush and the rest of the heads of state just want to fly down here, sign off on these agreements, and have a nice photo op.
Well, I, for one, certainly hope that there is more to it than that.
This is a vignette where we hope to capture some of what happened at the Earth Summit. A group of about 50 UCC-related people traveled to Rio, most at their own expense, to participate in the Earth Summit and in activities that were planned especially for non-governmental organizations. We delivered over 1,000 Earth covenants to the U.S. government's official delegation that were signed by members of the UCC from 48 states. We held a witness for the Earth outside of the building where the government delegates were negotiating on Agenda 21. We drafted alternative NGO treaties. We participated in interfaith worship. We met and networked with people from all over the world. We led workshops and sang and danced. And we shared a message of hope that not only is the integrity of creation, justice, and peace possible, but it's what God intends for this planet. We invite you to an open house conversation on Sunday if you're interested in hearing more about what happened in Brazil.
We thank Susan Peacock, Secretary for Global Education and Advocacy, and Erich Mathias, who is a program assistant in our Joint Ministry and Africa Office, and incidentally a native of Brazil.